YouTube. Christian Pepper Gal here. Today we are going to be dehydrating frozen green beans as well as frozen mixed vegetables. So let's get started. I've already prepared my trays using the parchment paper because my dehydrator trays are pretty well spaced. I don't want things falling through. So I've just cut out parchment paper and put on my tray to keep things from falling through. The first thing that we're going to do is cut the bag open. I've taken these straight out of the freezer. I did not defrost them, so we're going to see how they work that way. In times past, when I have dehydrated frozen vegetables, I've set them overnight in the refrigerator to defrost them. But I thought we'd give it a try this way today and just see how they turn out without having to defrost them. Go ahead and fill the tray. We want to make sure that we spread them out so there's not any clumps or lumps anywhere. Okay. Now I've already washed my hands, and you want to make sure that you do wash your hands before touching the food because you don't want to get any germs anywhere on the food, since we'll be storing them for a while and don't want to give the opportunity for germs to build up in the food. Okay. That bag almost fit on one tray, but not quite. So let's see if we can squeeze all this bag onto one tray with that little bit left over. Now, if you're not really into dehydrating or you're new to it, you might ask, why would someone want to dehydrate vegetables? My reason for dehydrating is for long-term food storage. What that means is it's basically like canning vegetables, except they're dehydrated instead, and they take up a lot less space in the pantry or in your cupboards. Now I'm going to see if I can take some of these off of this little bit too full tray and put it on this tray that has a little bit more room from the first bag. I really think next time I could just do the full bag on one tray. I just want to even them out again. So there you have it. Frozen green beans on the dehydrator tray, ready to dehydrate. Now we'll put the mixed veggies on a couple of trays. We're going to do the mixed veggies the same way we did the green beans. Just cut the bag open straight out of the freezer. And pour it on the tray. I'm dehydrating the mixed vegetables to go into a soup mix that I'm working on getting enough vegetables dehydrated in order to make that soup. And then when I get all the vegetables I need dehydrated, I will put them measure them out into a jar or a Mylar bag and have them everything all together and ready to put together for a soup. And all I'll have to do is add water to it. That's another convenience of dehydrating. You can get meals ready ahead of time, and then when it comes time to cook them, all you have to do is add water. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the dehydrator, and I'll be right back. The trays are full of the green beans and the mixed vegetables, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in I'm going to go ahead and plug in the dehydrator and get them started. I will put them on the temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius, and they will dehydrate for anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get them started, and I'll be back once the time is up. And I am back. And it's tomorrow for me. A strange thing happened. I was expecting the vegetables to take about 10 to 12 hours to dehydrate, and it ended up taking them about 14 hours. So by the time they were ready, it was 3 a.m. this morning. I just didn't feel like filming. So what I did was I put them in baggies to sit overnight and cool down. And now we're going to weigh them, see how much they weigh, and put them in a jar for storage. So let's get started on this. I have my handy dandy trusty scale. We're going to weigh the green beans first, and this is what they look like dehydrated. Let me take a few out so you can see them better. Okay. Then I'm going to set them on the scale and see how much we have here. They weigh 2.29 ounces, and that's actually 2 bags that are 12 ounces each. So that's 24 ounces reduced down to 2.29 ounces. So you can see how they'll take up way less room for storage. Okay, now we have the mixed vegetables here. And I'll show you a few of them so you can see what they look like. They're all shrunk and dried and ready to store. These started out as a full 32 ounces. So let's see what they weigh now that they're dehydrated. And they have been shrunk and reduced down to 5 ounces. From 32 ounces to 5 ounces. The next thing we're going to do is take the veggies from the baggies and put them in a jar. This is a quart-sized jar, and these are quart-sized baggies. So we're going to put them in a jar to store them. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in. Now once these are stored and all the air has been taken out of the jar and the veggies, they will last on your shelf from anywhere from 10 to 15 years. So they have a great shelf life. For now, we're just going to put the lid on the jar and we're going to let them sit for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to check them every day, shake them around, Make sure there's no moisture in the jar. And then once they've had a chance to sit for those couple of weeks and make sure that they are moisture free, then I'm going to go ahead and put an oxygen absorber in each jar. And what that does is it takes out any remaining oxygen in the jar, which causes it to be able to have a shelf life of that 10 to 15 years. And that's it for dehydrating frozen veggies. One thing, however, I would suggest is, because it took so long to dehydrate the veggies from the frozen state, I would suggest that you do put them in the refrigerator overnight to defrost them and thaw them out. That will cut off 2 to 3 hours of that dehydration time. And it really will only take 10 to 12 hours to dehydrate at that point. So lesson learned there. And I'm glad I learned it for you so you don't have to struggle with it by yourself. And that's it for today. So until next time, happy prepping and God bless.